All right, sweet. So we got storage down, we got memory down, now the CPU. And we're going to use the same application. The CPU. This is this is the brain power of our computer or laptops or phones or servers. This is the worker. This is the component that is doing most of the work. When Firefox is creating web pages for you, when it's opening up the new tabs, it's the CPU that's actually opening up the new tabs. It's the processing power that's actually opening up the new tabs. When when it's doing decryption or encryption, or you have extensions and add-ons for Firefox, it's the CPU that's actually doing the work. The CPU makes everything in Firefox happen. It When you're loading, when you go to youtube.com, let's say you go to our YouTube channel and you're watching one of our videos, maybe the top Linux command videos, it's the CPU that's loading that web page. It's the CPU that's playing the YouTube video. If you're using Discord as an application, it's your CPU that's running Discord. If you're launching Zoom up, it's the CPU that's actually doing the work. It's actually allowing your application such as Firefox to work. Okay. We have CPU, we have memory, and we have storage. All three components work together. CPU is doing most of the work. It's when it comes to allowing our applications to function, allowing our system to function. It's not just limited to the applications. CPU is doing most of the heavy lift. The memory is most of the time, it can be used for many different things. Most of the times, this is a temporary location for our apps to store data so they can function as well, right? Not to actually do the work of functioning, not to actually load up web pages, not to actually load up YouTube videos, but memory is used to temporarily store data such as your credentials so you can have an active session to your bank account or have an active session to your Wi-Fi. And then storage, we're going to use this as a persistent storage, a persistent device where we can save data and always be able to access it even if the system restarts or is shut down and turned back on. Same thing as a restart, right? So when we download and install Firefox, it's going to live in storage. When we execute Firefox, in other words, when we double click Firefox, it's going to utilize CPU to start up, and then all of the data, well, some of the data that Firefox is using is going to be stored in your memory, such as your login credentials with whatever applications you're logging into or your cookies. They're going to be saved temporarily in memory. When you restart your computer, most of this data in memory is wiped. The data in storage is not wiped. CPU isn't going anywhere. This is the backbone. These are the workers. This is the core, the core worker that is doing all of the work. It's not going anywhere if you restart or turn off your computer, right? What the processors are using, which is what that P stands for, what the processors are using will stop, right? They will stop. The programs will stop when you turn off your system. When you turn it back on, the processor will get back to work. And that's it, y'all.